At Denbury Resources, we produce or capture carbon dioxide and transport it to oil fields, recovering additional oil and eventually sequestering the CO2. Denbury manages CO2 in 4 distinct stages to create either or both economic and social benefits. We currently utilize natural sources of CO2. Once captured, it's transported through our 420 miles of underground CO2 pipelines that connect to our oil fields. Upon delivery, it's injected into oil reservoirs to recover additional quantities. This oil recovery increases the production of domestic energy, and CO2 is permanently sequestered from the atmosphere. Denbury's CO2 4-step enhanced oil recovery process is the only current method that provides both the economic benefits of producing additional volumes of domestic energy and permanently sequestering CO2 volumes that would otherwise be vented to the atmosphere. CO2 from natural sources is much less abundant than the large volumes of man-made sources of CO2. At Jackson Dome, natural CO2 associated with prior volcanic emissions is trapped in underground reservoirs. The CO2 is produced, purified, and dried for subsequent transportation. Denbury also intends to utilize captured man-made CO2 from power plants and other industrial sources. This combination of captured man-made sources and natural sources of CO2 will be used in the near future. Once dehydrated, the CO2 in its dense phase, commonly called liquid form, can be economically and efficiently transported through our hundreds of miles of underground pipelines made of common pipeline materials that connect to our oil fields. Once the CO2 is delivered to our oil fields, we begin CO2 enhanced oil recovery. This results in the production of additional quantities of oil that would not otherwise be recovered. The CO2 is injected into a well. It then dissolves into the oil, causing the oil to swell. This reduces the surface tension between the oil and the formation and allows the oil to be extracted through producing wells. Our CO2 efforts recover on average an additional 17% of the original oil in place. By using CO2, Denbury produces more domestic energy and lessens our dependence on imported oil. By sequestering future CO2 emissions during the CO2 flooding process, we keep captured CO2 volumes from reaching the atmosphere. Ultimately, Denbury's 4-step process benefits local economies and the communities we serve, and also protects our environment for present and future generations.